All right, guys, as we are sitting here doing our very first solo spectate of the OG map, just want to touch on some things where I'm sitting here with chat and what is some good things we like about the OG map? What is some bad things? I'm just going to give you my general thoughts about the first couple days. My first impression is the map is beautiful. The map is amazing. The little tweaks that they have done to the map, the little, small things that they have, they've freshened up the colors. I think it's an amazing, feature. For the first time ever, Call of Duty has actually put an update out that really has pretty much, blown everyone out of the water, because if you know anything about Call of Duty updates or anything like that, they're always buggy. There's always something that goes wrong, to the point where you can't even play them. This time, they pushed the update back a couple weeks, and they got it right. Now, there is some little things that we'll talk about going forward that I would like to see, them implement, but we're just going to hit on the good things right now. And, dropping an update of this size, bringing back the OG map, bringing back so many of these features that we like is great. I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people saying that, the nostalgic value is only going to last so long and all of this. But to be all the way honest, the way it looks right now, I think the nostalgic vibe has, it's all hit us. But I think this version is going to outlast the nostalgia. And I think it's going to bring back, make people have more memories. Like Alana said, floating loot is a big W. That was something that a lot of people was asking, why did they take that out of the game? We'll just go down the list. Floating loot, big W. The movement, it's a little clunky, but I see what they're trying to do to make it feel like a true OG. Try to make it feel like, it is kind of like we're going back to, where we started. I think if they could speed up it just a little bit, I think it'd be perfect. I have no problem with the movement. I love the, I think Omni movement, it was such a great invention. But in my opinion, I think they wanted it to be for a casual player. But when you have these demons out there that just, learning all the tricks, it kind of made it hard. But in my opinion, I think they need to implement Omni movement just a little bit more into this. I would like to see a little bit more free-flowing motion. It still feels like there's just a slight delay in all the movement, but small things they can fix. Another big W is, guys, if you look at the map, just look at the map in general, everything is brighter. Everything is just way more brighter. You can see. Before, if you remember the OG map, there was that fog. It was a little bit dingy, but they have brightened it. Alana said it right there. Feels a little clunky. It really does. The movement is just a little bit clunky, but I think that's something they can speed up on. I think they're trying to find the sweet spot for it. Not too fast, not too slow, just that right speed. But if you look right now, everything's bright. All the colors are just popping. Before, it was all dingy. It was all dark. And they lit up, they pretty much lit up the map, which is great. If you remember, going upstairs used to be really, scary, because you would have the rose skin. You would have all of the goodness gracious. You would have all of that. Another feature that I like that we just saw was snipers. It is a sniper meta right now. Everyone is using either the HDR or the car. The car has a one-shot headshot to a certain extent, but the HDR does have a unlimited, one-shot headshot, and I like that. I do have my thoughts on what I think it should be. I think that if you can hit a headshot from 600 meters out, GG's, you just did it. But I have seen some people in my comments saying that the snipers aren't You know, we don't need snipers to one-shot headshot. It's not good, but I like it. I really like the fact of you have to actually, you know, keep your head on a swivel. You can't just sit on a rooftop and just think you're going to be okay. Like, there was a game, you know, there was plenty of games. Me and my friends were playing the game, and we're dodging, you know, jumping, dodging, and all of this. One-shot snipers, because that's all we hear is ping, ping. You know, it makes the game, you know, I don't think it hurts the game at all. I'm not a sniper. I've never been a sniper, but I'm learning how to snipe, and it's a good addition to the game. The new guns. Let's talk about the new guns. The AMAX, the Kilo, HDR, we just talked about. I like the new guns. Only bad thing I would say about the new guns is they all feel the same. And that's a small little thing. I think they all feel the same, to be all the way honest. The Growl, when it came out and it was a conversion kit, it really hit hard, but there's not really that difference. That different feel. Like when you were shooting the Kilo, it felt different than the Growl. The Growl felt different from the AMAX, and it just all felt so much different. These guns, it just don't feel that much difference when it comes to the ARs. I like to get that little slight change. Right now, Kilo, you can use the Kilo, you can use the AMAX, and the Growler meta when it comes to ARs. Kilo's right up there with him, but in my opinion, I really, really believe that they're going to do something, just a small little tweak to make each gun feel like their own personality. Like, that's what we want. Like, y'all remember when the Growl was meta and it had that little skinny iron sight? Now, like I said in my video before, the Growl looks like it's gained some weight, you know, being on vacation. I just feel like they need to tweak it just a little bit where each gun feels like its own individual self. Then let's talk about a little bit of the bad things. We'll harp on a little bit of the bad things. Money is so scarce. Like, money is really, really scarce. How you doing, Panda? Like, money is really, really scarce in this game. If you look right now, guys only got 6,000, and he is in the second circle. Hasn't even bought a loadout. I think when we come to expecting more money, buying UAVs, but that also plays into the fact of you got to do contracts, you got to get kills, and you're going to get more money, and that's kind of how this game is being played now. This game plays so much different compared to the previous war zones. You got to actually value your life in this one. I can also say on the flip side of that, we might not need any more plates. That might actually make you play a little bit more of a strategic type of game because you value your life, because there's not so many plates on the ground. So I can see it both ways. I can see it where we can say, hey, we need more plates, we need more this, but if plates are scarce, money's scarce, going to get you a contract, and then jumping on somebody, killing a squad will get you more money. So the more stuff that you do, the more engagement that you're actually doing, the more money, the more everything that you get. So I can see it both ways. I would like to see a little bit more platage. Would like to see that wouldn't be too bad. Money, like I said, money is really, really scarce as well. I think around the end game, regaining is really, really hard in this game. That's why you have to value your life. Regaining is really, really hard when it comes to dropping in, kind of not really that last circle, but that last couple circles. Not much money on the ground. There's not too many contracts out there. So the regain is so hard, but that's the perk of having to value your life. You got to value your life. And that's one thing that that has made this game a lot more different. It's kind of going back to the original BR feel, because before, let's all be honest, you had redeploys, you had gulag tokens, you had all this stuff to make it feel like a resurgent, over and over and over. I feel like, you know, you're kind of like playing Rebirth on the big map. So it kind of got away from that feeling of a BR. Like it really got away from that. So I'm hoping with this and how it's playing, we are going back to the BR feeling, because there should be two separate entities, a BR and a Resurgence. Resurgence, you can go out there and just like get in the mix right away. You're in there, you're just going to town, you're fighting, you're dying, you're coming back, fight, die, come back, fight, die, come back. I mean, that's Resurgence. You don't value your life because you know you can come back. In a BR, you have to value your life. One thing I really give Fortnite a bunch of credit for is they kind of stayed a little bit true to the BR form. They did have their little resurgent modes and all that, but to be honest, Fortnite stuck to the BR, you know, agenda. And they've been the gold standard for I don't know how long. So hopefully we can go back to the old way where we have to value our life. We have to actually play positioning. And that's another thing. That's another topic. Positioning. Positioning is so key in this game right now. Like, if you have good positioning, you're rotating right, you're doing the small things, you're going to pretty much win the gunfight when it comes to this TTK, because this TTK is crazy. I was talking to a friend of mine, G, and he was saying he likes the TTK. He's like, it's fine. And I can see it both ways. I can see it the way of some people saying it's too fast and some people saying, okay, it's good. And I give this analogy like this. If we raise the TTK, if we raise it up, how hard is it going to be for a new player to kill a sweat like, let's just say Biffle? And then killing Biffle is almost impossible, but I'm just throwing that out there. If, let's just say, the TTK is raised up to whatever, you got to be more, you got to be more strategic in your shoot. You got to be able to control your recoil a lot better than someone that hasn't played forever, and the TTK is fast, and they can actually maybe get a kill here and there, instead of having to actually control the recoil. Now, you can also say, well, man, they just need to play the game. They just need to play the game. They can't, you're going to have to, well, some people just can't play some people can only play 1 to 2 hours a day, if that. We're not all fortunate to play 5, 6 hours, sometimes 12 hours. I'm fortunate enough to play a lot, but some people aren't. So they want to hop on with the boys after work, maybe drink a beer, have a good time, get a couple kills, laugh, or whatever. So I think the TTK is right a little bit where a casual player can still get a kill, and there's a little skill gap in that. I believe that. Another big key thing that I really think that they need to honestly fix is the contract multipliers. If you notice, every contract you do, it multiplies just like the OGs did. But it's not doing that right now. It's really not doing what we had in the OG map. So the contracts are not multiplying like they should. It should be a contract multiplier every time that you do a contract, but it's not doing that. Gee, I was just talking about you, big dog. I was just talking about you. We was talking about the TTK, and so I would like to see the contract multiplier actually work right now. It isn't working. It's not really counting the multiplying factors. So hopefully they can get that fixed. I think that'd be a really, really good thing. That I'm happy they did bring that back. I'm very, very happy. So then the next thing is, I really think there's one thing that I want them to bring back, and I don't know if they ever will. And this is just me thinking out loud. I need them to bring back the original growl. This is just my thoughts. I don't want the conversion kit. I don't want that. I want the original growl to come back at some point. That's just me. That's just a wish list for me that they will do that. That's just something small into the game that I think that they can really I think that would be a big hit. I don't want a conversion kit. Like I said before, I think, the iron sights gained a little bit of weight. It needs to go. The iron sights need to go on Jenny Craig. It needs to lose a little couple pounds, slim back up. It's summertime. We need that 6-pack abs. We need the old school one. If we bring back the Kilo, if we bring back the AMAX, if we bring back the HDR, I really believe, that it should be brought back to the ground. Now, what we just saw the HDR one-shot headshot. And I'm going to go back to this point. I really don't have no problem with this. I really don't have a problem with them doing this. Because if you... Okay, G, why do you that? Why do you say you have a problem with that? You hate it? Why do you hate that? I love hearing this. Slows down my pace. Okay. I understand. I can agree with that. I can agree with that 100%. I'm going to go to the flip side. Okay, I'm going to go to the flip side of that. I can see exactly what you're saying. We all don't want to camp in a building. We all can say that. We all don't want to camp in a building. We all don't want to camp on top of a in a building on top of the roof. We don't want to do that. We want to get out there and get mixy. But the risk rewards of that are, you guys, you got to watch your head. Like, and watching you play, you aren't never still. You're always moving. You're always, going to the next bounty, the next, popping UAV. All right, we're going here. We're going here. So I can see where that comes into play. I can see that. So this is the caveat of that. Do we do it where the HDR only has a headshot multiplier at a certain distance? Then after that distance, then we can put in maybe a 2-shot. Because from here to here, from where he shot, if that's not a 1-shot kill, dude was sitting there standing. I can see maybe cross map. If you're doing cross map things and it's a 1-shot headshot, I can see, maybe, that's a little bit too much. But in my opinion, this is just me. I don't have no problem with it. But I can understand where you're coming from with that of if you're moving and grooving, and it's a lot harder to hit a headshot like right here. See? He didn't hit a headshot. You got to be so precise on that headshot. Now, mind you, dude probably ain't hit a headshot since that last one, but it's a little bit tricky. But I mean, if you're good with it, if you're in those high KD lobbies like a G is, if you're in those competitive lobbies, those dudes are hitting that. That dude's gone right now. Like he look at this. It's boom, dead. So I mean, it's you got it. You actually got to hit your shots. These two fools were just looking at each other. But in all, I think the game is in a good spot. That's terrible. Like, I really believe that the game is a good spot. I do. I believe the game is in a great spot. This update has really, really just blown my mind. Like, it really... You can't name another update that has had no bugs, that has had nothing... Technically, really nothing really wrong with it. We haven't had that in forever. Call me crazy. I literally can... Just me. I think this might be the greatest update they have done. Other than one other update and... And it wasn't a big update, but it was I would say the Haunting of Verdansk, the very first one with Scream and all of that. That was by far the best. But I mean, if we're talking about big updates like this is the best one. This is by far the best one that I have seen. The game plays, and let's talk about this. The game plays so buttery smooth. Like literally butterly smooth. I've not seen one, like, I'll be all the way honest, I haven't seen one person say this game's buggy. I have not seen that. And normally, let's be all the way honest, if it's a terrible update, you go on X, Twitter, Reddit, whatever you want to say, and you can see everybody saying, man, this sucks. But like, you can see everyone say, oh, this is terrible, this is awful. But this game runs so smooth. He's dead. Like, it's honestly, it shocked me how well this update actually has happened. You know, G even said it. Like, it is really, really crazy to see how good this update is. And another thing, Alana just brought it out. The hacking situation, there is some hackers still in the lobby. If we're playing any PC game, if we're playing any game that with the PC, we know that hacking, there's going to be hackers. Yeah, I mean, Valorant has got them. I mean, Valorant has the best anti-cheat, and they're saying they're still having problems with it. Any game's going to have hackers, but right now it's been really, really haven't seen many. I haven't seen many at all. And I guess I'm not giving Ricochet any credit right now until I know the facts. But before this game came out, a lot of cease and desist letters went out, and a lot of these cheating companies, big name cheating companies, were saying we're closing its doors. Now we can say, well, they're just going to make another one in the next couple months. They're going to come back. I really believe they are putting their foot down and saying we're going to take back our game, because it's been bad. Like, it's been really, really bad. But all in all, I think this game has been amazing. I think this is a great update. I think this is something that we really, really needed. The COD community was begging for something like this, and we finally got it. I am so, so, so happy about this. Like, it's so good to see something. Let's say it like this. It's so good to go back home to a map that we remember and it feeling like that OG. It's like going back to that, to that old thing. You're just like, man, it just feels right being back on this map. I'm so happy that they have done this. Hopefully with the updates going forward that we can see, them put in a little bit of things. I don't think they need to put in a lot. Just update a couple things, maybe some plates, like I said, money, more contracts. I think, like I said, this end game right here, not this one specifically, but the end game it's kind of hard to regain at the end. So I think that's kind of some small little things, but I think it's amazing. I think this is what we needed. It's good for the COD community. I really think that I really like it. I mean, I really do. Like, if they can hang on to this and build from this, if this is the start of it, if this is what the base model, and we're going to build off this, guys, we are in for an amazing year. I'm so excited for this. Like, it's amazing. Let's see if this guy finishes out before we head out of here real quick, because he's missing every shot he has shot right now on this guy. He's right there. God, I hate seeing this. If the guy on the high ground loses this, it's oh my god. I was about to say, high ground always wins. Hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I love y'all. See you next time.